Everything started when two coworkers, TJ the 3D artist and WB the programmer, casually asked each other, "Should we make games together?" Hell yeah! We had no idea that one simple question would pull us into years of non-stop soul-crushing grind. This is the story of how we stumbled through every rookie mistake possible, choosing the wrong engine, remaking the core mechanics over and over, and learning the hard way what actually matters in game development. Rounds was the game we loved so much. The competitive gameplay and the deck building element work so well together like magic. We both have over 300 hours of playtime now, from playing it together whenever we could. We tried to find similar games because we loved their gameplay so much, but we couldn't find anything that really clicked with us. So we said, fuck it, let's make it ourselves. That's how we started making Mixxpell. At the time, we had no plan, no funding, and no idea how big this would get. Unreal Engine became the biggest thing slowing us down. We were already familiar with Unreal because we used it at the company we worked at. And we even made a game called Deadball Crusader using Unreal Engine. It took about a month and it was pretty bad. Because it was familiar, we started working on Mixxpell using Unreal without too much thought. It was pretty smooth sailing in the beginning. Mostly we used the blueprint feature, so the code was tangled like spaghetti, but it was perfect for fast prototyping. However, it did not take long for us to realize the huge problems. Before I tell you why we moved to another game engine, let me tell you the good things about Unreal first. Pro number 1. Prototyping is super easy with Blueprint. You don't have to write any complex code, no need to wait for the code to be compiled. It's really intuitive and super easy to use. Pro number 2. Having access to the source code was a big plus. It's not as open as open source, but it was open enough to help us understand how things work. Like if the character movement gets funky, we could identify what's causing it and fix it. It would have been rough if we didn't have access to it. Pro number 3. Essential features such as debug, monitoring, and console commands are all included right out of the box. Especially the network feature was really easy to work with. Pro number 4. The massive asset store. We bought some VFX assets and they were better quality than we ever expected. Plus you get lots of free stuff quite often. Even with all these perks, there was a critical drawback we could not overlook. It's that engine is too damn massive. There were so many features that we would never even touch. Even individual components are packing tons of stuff we don't need. The character movement, for example. You'd expect it to only handle simple movements, but it turns out there's a lot going on under the hood. I mean, they're all useful things, but sometimes they caused behavior we didn't want. It was frustrating because we wanted to precisely control how it works. It's as if we are trying to chop garlic with a chainsaw. Using Unreal for our project was like modifying the chainsaw to be better at chopping garlic. But the engine wasn't the only problem we had. We struggled a lot with the game design as well. Time and time again, we scrapped the core mechanics and remade them. At first, we only had attack and defense, just like rounds. Now we have 4 active slots so you can freely assign spells. If it wasn't fun, we slashed it without hesitation. But the more we worked, the more worried we got. Would players actually enjoy this? What if we are the only ones thinking it's fun? How can we get the players to try out Mixxpell? We weren't sure if we were improving the game or just chasing our own taste. All these questions were making us anxious. We are a 2-person team and the time is always tight. so we decided to move to a lighter game engine with only essential features. Migrating meant throwing away months of work though. But working on Unreal made us focus more on modding the engine rather than working on our content, so we had to move. There were two viable options, Unity and Godot. Both have more than enough features for us to work on. Godot's nodes and scenes structure is super intuitive, and GDScript is easy to learn. We seriously considered Unity because of its massive asset store, but their runtime fee controversy gave us the ick. In the end, we decided Godot was more than enough, and there was no strong reason to choose Unity over Godot. Sure, the asset ecosystem is almost none, but ease of use mattered more to us. So we moved our project from Unreal to Godot. And yeah, it actually took us quite a while to do all the groundwork all over again and learn how to use the engine. So far, it's been working great. Kinda miss having an asset store though. While we are still worried about whether players would actually enjoy our game, we got an email from PlayExpo inviting us to join their convention. We thought it was the perfect chance to get player feedback, so we joined the event and presented Mixxpell out there for the first time. During the event, we were taking notes of everything from technical issues to how people play the game, and stayed up all night to fix the problems. I don't think we ever slept more than 4 hours, not gonna lie. We were actually surprised by how much positive feedback we got though. There were people who gave us detailed feedback on what they liked and didn't like. And there was these two friends playing against each other, and one of them totally destroyed the other 7-0. Watching people laughing and genuinely having fun lifted a huge worry off our shoulders. One takeaway from our experience would be plan everything thoroughly, and the faster people play your game, the less time you waste guessing, and you'll save tons of precious time to work more on your game. Mixxpell is still in development. We still have a long way to go until we finish it. But we don't feel lost anymore like we used to. Now we are moving forward with a clear direction. We'll keep sharing our journey like we have been over 400 days, so please join our Discord and wishlist Mixxpell on Steam. Take care, wizards. Bye!